Hey, what is up? What is up, YouTube gaming family? Yeah, it is IK right here. I'm back at it with another great video for y'all today. Shout out to United G. I think his actual like full channel name is called United Gaming. Yeah, man, let's get right into it, bro. Be sure to hit the like button, share the video around, do what y'all gotta do, and yeah, let's get this show right up on the road, bro. So, I'm going to give you guys my full honest take and review on Battlefield 6. I really have to say this, but this game has definitely lived up to the hype as I believe this game would. And I have to say, this is a great game. Definitely check out this YouTuber, United G. I think his real name goes by United Gaming. But yeah, he's a really good YouTuber. I really like him a lot. But I'm gonna give you guys my honest take on Battlefield 6, man. And yeah, let's get right into it, bro. Um, this game has lived up to the hype, and I think a lot of people don't realize this game um as far as potential and where the gameplay mechanics really fall back from. And I think like as far as a game, as far as this style of a Battlefield game, this is probably like in my opinion one of the best Battlefield games that I've ever played. And I'm not trying to like be biased. I'm not trying to say anything to try to glaze like the franchise. This is coming from someone that has been playing Battlefield for a long time. Like I can't believe that I say that because I'm 30 years old, but still, the amount of like experience that I've gained playing Battlefield ever since like 2011, I want to say, or maybe even earlier than that. Like I guess just to make this clear, even though that I'm still, particularly young as an old man at 30, surprisingly, as far as my generation with like in terms of how far back I can go back playing Battlefield, it was definitely back in like the high school days or early middle school, like seventh to eighth grade, leading into ninth grade for early high school. And I've been playing Battlefield for quite a while, man. Like I've been playing Battlefield since Battlefield Modern Combat on the PS2. I like my favorite Battlefields all time was Battlefield Bad Company 2, Bad Company 1. Those games were like they weren't like the almighty best Battlefields, but those are Battlefield games that you could easily go back to if they were remastered, and those games just made you feel happy. You never had like a day of being upset playing Battlefield Bad Company 2 or Battlefield Bad Company 1. So, personally with me, those are like my favorite retro Battlefield games that I love playing. But as far as like a competitive level of Battlefield games, like all time would have to be Battlefield 3 and then Battlefield 4. And I'm going to be honest with this. Like this game, Battlefield 6, is like one of the best Battlefields up there, next to Battlefield 3 and 4. And I think gameplay wise, this game is a combination of Battlefield 3 and 4 mixed with Battlefield Bad Company 2. The reason why I say that is simply because Battlefield Bad Company 2 has a really good smooth section, like in terms of utilizing your classes, your guns. You have everything being preset with every single class. So that means that if you're a combat medic, you're basically set up with combat medic like equipment gadgets, and you kind of use it to your own advanced particular level of how far you want to go with expanding your class. And also I think they have specialty perks, so that means that I want to say they kind of did the same thing like they did back in Battlefield 3 and 4. But don't you know, like, whenever you choose, like, a class, you have, like, a specialty perk that you can add to your class? Like, what type of, like, basically, what type of stats that you want to add to your soldier? Do you want this soldier to become a explosives heavy type of soldier if you're running, like, the engineer class? Or if you want like a soldier to be mainly for ammo, to provide more ammo to your teammates, that would be a light machine gun or heavy machine gun class. That's what Battlefield's really good at doing. Battlefield gives you the opportunities to kind of like choose your role as a soldier, but you're working as a team. So that's the great thing about the classes. Like, they're not like super duper like maxed out, kind of like what Call of Duty does, where you kind of just use basically whatever you want, but it's based off of like how much you want to. Oh wait, hold on. All right, I'm back. So yeah, like basically compared to Call of Duty, Call of Duty goes the direction of how much you want to add to your class and how much perks that you want to be really broken with your class, because Call of Duty gives you a lot of options to customize however many like gun attachments, perk add-ons, and all these like wild cards and all that to make your operator or to make your soldier really strong and powerful. And it's good and all, but at the end of the day, like Call of Duty is like very like copy and paste driven. It doesn't give you variety with different types of soldiers that are designated within a class. And the problem with Call of Duty is that every like gun that you use in the game does not designate like the realism of like playing that type of soldier, whether you're like a light machine gunner or a sniper or a submachine gunner or a like assault rifle type of primary gunner. So that's pretty much what the problem with Call of Duty. Call of Duty has this copy and paste issue where they just do the same thing over and over. They don't actually like diversify the classes and have a class specified for what a sniper does. Like Battlefield is good at giving you opportunities to play your soldier, and you have to think like, what do you do if you're a sniper and you don't have really anything but your sniper rifle, your few gadgets that you're able to use, whether if you're able to call in airstrikes as like a sniper or anything like that. Like that's what Battlefield's really good at doing. But I will say what Battlefield lacks is that they need to have more opportunities for classes that are not able to compete at a high level up against, like, let's just say enemy armored tanks, where if you don't have like the gadgets on you or the equipment on you to like fight up against like a tank, and you're just a assault, like, you're a assault rifle gunner, going out fighting, where basically you have like two enemy tanks and there's like 30 of you guys, and then there's like two engineers out of like the 30 soldiers, and you don't have many options to kind of like fight back. So you have to like pick up like a dead person's class just to switch out to a engineer class. That's like the one thing that sucks about Battlefield. You have to kind of like be very smart with like how you pick up guns, or if you're able to kind of like switch to somebody else's class while you're just temporarily stealing that gun, and then you have to like defeat the tank, and then you can go back to your original primary class. Like, I kind of wish Battlefield was just basically simple, where if you just want to take the rocket launcher should just be available for you to take. If you want to like defeat a particular enemy tank or anything like that, whether it's like, if you need like an anti-tank mine, you can add that to your class. Like, I mean, there's there's plenty of things that Battlefield can easily do better with. But this game is definitely this game definitely gives you Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 vibes with Battlefield Bad Company 2. Because the good thing about Battlefield Bad Company 2 is like that game was just a good simplistic game where you had all the classes set up together, and every class was very unique in terms of what you were able to do. Like, I know that with the assault rifle class, that was primarily designated for soldiers to use ammunition, boxes to supply to teammates, to give people more ammo if they needed it. And then the submachine gun class or the engineer class was designated in terms of basically providing anti-tank, anti-tank, yeah, like, anti-tank armor material, that being like rocket launchers, anti-tank mines, and anything to that particular level. So that was useful. The medic class was like the light machine gun class, where it's mostly just light machine gunners using but the medical different like a defibrillator to bring people back to life, and then also using medical boxes to like heal your enemy, well, to heal your like opponents. And then obviously the recon class, that was just like the basic sniper class, where you were able to call in airstrikes with like a mortar strike. Well, I think it was like technically just airstrikes. So like if you wanted to destroy a tank, you could actually call in a a designated airstrike. And then I think the other one was I forgot what else you were able to do with that class. I think you were able to plant claymores or something like that. I forgot. But I mean, if you guys go back and like watch that game, like that game was like really beautiful and it was fun. But yeah, just going back to Battlefield 6, like this game is a very very good game. This game definitely lived up to the hype. Within my experience of playing Battlefield 6, the amount of time and effort that I put into playing. Oh, wait, hold on. All right, I'm back. So yeah, based off of what I was trying to say, yeah, the amount of time and effort that I focus on playing this game have made me think that I think Battlefield is going into the right direction. DICE is doing really good with managing the amount of guns and the variety of classes that you can use with your character, depending on what you want to do. I will say, compared to Battlefield 2042, which was a horrible game, I will never go back to that game. Battlefield 2042 was trying to do something different, to do like the Call of Duty like approach, where you choose your soldier or you choose like your class, and then you basically have like different means of using like a operator based off of what you wanted to do with that class. So they kind of use like the operator nonsense, which I thought that was horrible for the game. They should just stick with like a just a standard soldier class type of thing. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, I mean, Battlefield 6 had lived up to the hype. I played the beta for basically like the whole time frame, like like the whole weekend process for like the next 2 weeks or something like that. That was like live for like every Friday, heading into that Sunday period. So when I was playing during the beta drop, like I was having so much fun with this game, like bro, like honestly, like I had like the best experience just enjoying the game, because like the feel of like actually hitting somebody with like a good shot with like your gun just felt really, like it felt really amazing, and it didn't feel clunky. That the gameplay just felt very smooth. The one thing that I kind of wish that they just improved on is like the sensitivity reaction. So like anytime when you get shot by somebody, you should have the ability to kind of like basically react in time to like a gunshot, like like as soon as somebody hits you, so like you're able to kind of like fight somebody, in a 1v1. um I think another thing that they should definitely work on is throwing back grenades. um I think Battlefield should have a particular defensive feature where you're able to throw back grenades, and on top of that, there needs to be like a gadget put into place into like the meta where you're able to kind of like detect enemies coming near you. Like, I mean, like overall, that the game is really good with like giving you like a good mini map that shows you where where your allies are. And then on top of that, if there are enemies nearby, they'll kind of like basically they'll pop up on your mini map to kind of like signify that there's a threat coming by. So I think overall that the game is definitely doing very good with that. Some other things that I would also like to see improved on are the vehicles. I think like certain vehicles need to get buffed. I would like to see BTRs come to the game. Maybe on top of that, they could also maybe bring in some like, I don't even know, like, I mean, personally, look, the tanks are pretty dope. I would like to see maybe like, I don't know, maybe like some armored convoy trucks. Like that would be pretty cool to kind of make it easier for your enemies to be like basically unknown, to like know where, where the enemies are being dropped off. So like if you had like convoy trucks that had like, armed, like, armed machine guns, basically locked into it, I think that would be pretty cool. I do know that the helicopters and that the fighter jets are really good. So I mean, overall, like I thought this game was just awesome. Like, like the great thing about it is that you're able to like basically revive, like you're able to revive your teammates and bring them to like a safe, location to drag them while you're in like the line of fire, and I think that's really good. One thing that I just don't like is that when you get shot, you kind of have to like wait for somebody to come and get you to basically revive you. I kind of wish that it was like Battlefield 3, so like it's like as soon as you get hit, like you should just be on the loading screen, for the next spawn. But if your enemy picks up your body and like you're able to see where you're at, you know. Oh wait, hold on. All right, I'm back. So yeah, basically what I was trying to say is that if the enemy, well, if the enemy had already killed you, and therefore you're sitting there, quote unquote, dead, or you're sitting there wounded, about to die, then your teammate should be able to drag you without having to like basically wait during the state of you being downed. So it's like you should be like on the next loading screen to like basically redeploy, as another respawn soldier, or your teammate can just pick up your body, and then there should be like a little camera to kind of like show you where you're at, like in terms of like your teammate wanting to particularly revive you, and there should be like a dialogue box pop-up message to state that your teammate is about to revive you, such and such, in X amount of time. That would be like a good feature to have, like instead of just having to wait for like a teammate to like bring you back to life. And then it's kind of like Battlefield 5, where it's like, okay, like if nobody's not going to bring you back to life, and you kind of have to like basically struggle having to like, basically deal with like teammates that are not going to particularly revive you, then I can understand that. I can understand why people don't like to wait on a teammate to bring them back. When if you see it right here in this gameplay, you should be like going to the next loading screen to respawn. So therefore you can like edit out like your classes. But if your teammate ends up reviving you before you're able to basically redeploy, that should be put in there to avoid the amount of time having to be garnished, for you to kind of wait for like a teammate to bring you back, and then it's like you don't know what's going to happen. So I just think that's something that DICE should really think about doing, or EA per se. I say overall, like I had a lot of fun playing this beta. The beta felt very competitive, and the hype was definitely real. I mean, this game literally had over 500,000 players on beta launch, if not higher, because it's like the console player base is really fun. The PC player base is massive, so I think that's something that a lot of people don't take into consideration when it comes to Battlefield. Battlefield is like a PC heavy game, and not a lot of people really understand this, but Battlefield communities have always been powerful with the PC market or the PC world. But the console, game competitively, like the console community is very good. So both sides are basically benefiting from each other, and the competition pools are very good in terms of bringing in like a really good diverse base level of skill set, so therefore people can like enjoy the game and just have a good time. Now, the bad thing that I hate about Battlefield are the cheaters. I wasn't expecting the cheaters to be a thing, but surprisingly, cheaters are definitely coming into the game, and these are most likely people from Call of Duty that are coming in, or just people in general. It doesn't matter if they were coming from COD or not. This is definitely becoming a problem, and I think DICE, they really need to get this ball moving to get rid of these cheaters. Personally, with me, like for me, like what should be done is that anybody who cheats it, in this game should get IP banned, hardware banned, and then they should get put on a blacklist to not play Battlefield games. So it's like I think that's something that DICE should do, and I think it would be a very good idea to bring to the franchise if they had something like that. So yeah, personally with me, I think if DICE actually ends up taking out these bad cheaters, um yeah, I think the game will definitely rise to being a very good game. Now, as far as what everybody's saying to say like Battlefield's not a good game and this game is horrible, it's overhyped, I think it's really stupid. I think the Call of Duty haters are very mad that Call of Duty is failing as a franchise. And again, like I'm not glazing Battlefield. Battlefield has problems, but it's not as problematic compared to Call of Duty, where in Call of Duty, like you're having to like deal with a lot of problems that are rampant within the community. And then on top of that, Activision and Treyarch and Sledgehammer, they're not even listening to their own core audience. So it's like, what makes you guys really think Call of Duty Black Ops 7, or basically Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is going to sell well to the public? Like, I think personally with me, I think Treyarch is going to take a massive hit, and if they do fail as a company where they're not going to be making any Call of Duty games for quite some time, I'm totally fine with that, because with me, I'm fine with market failures. I'm fine with competitors coming into a market to destroy bad business. So it's like, if you're not giving me, the consumer, what I pay for, any good business at all, then I'm going to leave. So, I should have the ability to have that decision with my dollar to determine if a business stays or not. But that's where the consumer is always king for that situation. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. What I have with Battlefield, man. I think this game is going to sell very well. I think all the Twitch streamers, all the YouTube content creators, especially like people that are coming from Call of Duty, like Swag, Ink Slasher, like all these big time YouTubers are understanding that Battlefield is a good game. It definitely has its improvements that it needs to be made. But if it does continue being a better game where we end up seeing like a lot stronger gameplay that nobody has ever seen before, this game is definitely peak level legendary, and I think Battlefield is back. Compare this game to 2042. This game does not come close to 2042. 2042 is dead. It is completely gone, and I'm happy that DICE, they learned their lesson. They took that into consideration for the next Battlefield game, and this is definitely our game, to be played. So, congratulations DICE, and congratulations to EA, because without that strong marketing and that focus and dedication, I don't think I would be here sitting, talking about a game that I've been playing like basically like my whole life. Like, I've been playing Battlefield for well over like 10 plus years. So, I'll probably even say longer than that, at least 10, 15 plus years. So, all right. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That was a pretty good, chop session. So, hope y'all enjoy that. I will get Battlefield 5 when I get my PS5 in the future, and definitely stay tuned for that. So, I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Subscribe to United G, and I believe his actual name is called United Gaming. So, all right. Hope you guys enjoy like my little TED talk, and I will see you guys soon. All right, peace out. Bye.